Hi there, David Weaver with Franchise Your Freedom. Today I thought I would share with you some facts and figures about small business ownership and franchising, and then share with you a couple of ideas on why I think franchising is such a strong opportunity for um, getting into small business. So let's start with some facts and figures. So if you go to the Small Business Administration back to 2002 all the way up to 2020, roughly 27 to 31 million small businesses in the United States. And the SBA defines a small business as any independent company with less than 500 employees. So of the 31 million small businesses in the United States, 80% of those small businesses have zero employees, which I think is interesting, right? And small businesses account for 65% of the net gain employment. One of the things I love about small businesses is the little guy is what drives so much impact for our entire country. So again, 80% of small businesses have no employees. So the 20% of small businesses drive 65% of all new jobs in the United States. And this is consistent year over year if you go back through the data. So I just love that stat. Here's another thing about small business. Only 4% of small business owners generate over $1 million in revenue. So let's talk about franchise stats for a minute. So again, keep that in mind. 4% of small businesses generate over $1 million in revenue. So in franchising, we have about 4,000 brands that are selling franchises in the United States. Now, it takes 20 open locations to put your franchise in the top half. It takes only 100 open locations to put that franchise brand in the top 4% of all franchises franchising. So name brand recognition, and this is kind of my anecdotal input, is about 300 to 400 locations, right? So when you have 300 plus locations, that basically translates into every primary and secondary market has some sort of brand recognition or has a location in those markets. So that's kind of when we begin to develop brand recognition. So what I love about franchising is it's such a clear and transparent methodology towards what people really want, right? So if a franchise has, every franchise has a franchise disclosure document. The Federal Trade Commission actually regulates the franchise industry, and they do so through this disclosure document. And it allows us to see things like number of locations opened or typical top line revenue. What does it cost to get the business started, right? So just by having a franchise disclosure document, we can funnel ourselves towards the brands that are in the top 4% without even spending very much time or any money trying to build a business. The other thing that I love about franchising is it's all about relationships. So relationships start with the leadership team and the organizational structure, right? So if a franchisor has good, strong leadership that knows what they're doing, they typically have built a franchise previously, that's going to drive excellent franchisee experience, right? And so if a franchisee has a positive experience, then that's going to also drive their profitability. But with that organizational culture, it also drives positive peer-to-peer relationships, right? So other franchisees helping each other, sharing best practices, what's working, what's not working. So it's the peer network that drives the value of that particular brand. And then it comes down to the system, the actual business model itself. Does the business model work? And it's this system that creates that consistent delivery of whatever the product or service is, right? And so that piece is going to drive the customer experience. So most people come to me and I ask them this question, why franchising? And the answer is always something around brand recognition. So In order to find the right franchise, we want to focus on the things that create that customer experience that then drives that name brand recognition. We also want to pay attention to some of the data because we can help ourselves in selecting a franchise brand by taking a couple of steps and guiding people through. I help guide people through a process to pay attention to some of these things. So, why do I love franchising? Because I love small business. Small business drives our economy, it drives our employment in this country. And I love franchising because it takes a lot of the guesswork out. So, I hope that you find this video helpful. If you have, please leave a comment below. If you'd like to reach me directly, I always leave access to my calendar in the comment section. Please like the page, and hopefully I've added some value to your day. Have a great one.